For over a century, the classroom looked exactly like this. Information was centralized, physical, and teacher-driven. Then we introduced the computer lab. It was a dedicated space where technology assisted the learning process, but it was still just one room in the building. Today, that dedicated space fits in a backpack. We have placed instant, encyclopedic access to data directly into students' hands. But despite having faster access to more educational resources than any generation in history, students are struggling to focus and retain what they learn. It forces us to ask a difficult question. Are we trading cognitive depth for convenience? To answer that, we have to separate information access, the act of gathering data, from cognitive encoding, the biological process of locking that data into memory. When you type notes on a laptop, it feels highly efficient. You can transcribe a lecture almost word for word. But fast inputs do not equal fast learning. It is incredibly easy to confuse having a dozen open tabs and video tutorials with actually possessing retrievable knowledge. The immediate symptoms of this trap are screen fatigue and chronic task switching, where the brain is constantly stimulated but rarely engaged. If we want to truly evaluate our study tools, we need to stop looking at how fast they operate and look at how they biologically impact the brain. Think about typing. Striking a Q feels exactly the same as striking an M, but carving a unique letter form requires complex, specific movements. That effort engages your brain's visual motor network, forcing motor control and spatial processing to work together. When researchers look at fMRI scans, they see that handwriting activates a significantly broader network of brain regions than typing. Neuroscientists call this the encoding effect. Since you can't write as fast as you type, your brain must synthesize the information before your hand moves. Typing bypasses the synthesis. It promotes passive, verbatim transcription without demanding deep cognitive engagement. The friction making handwriting feel slow is exactly what locks concepts into your long-term memory. This biological difference extends to how we read. Researchers divide reading into literal comprehension, surface facts, and inferential comprehension, deeper ideas. This 11-week study compares grammatical knowledge improvements. Look at the tablet and control groups. Over 3 months, their scores showed virtually no change. Now look at the print reading group. Their scores trended upward while others remained stagnant. Physical books provide a spatial mapping of text. You literally feel the weight of the pages on the left versus the right, which helps your brain place concepts into a structural context. For deep inferential understanding, the empirical data suggests that physical books are biologically superior. None of this means digital tools are useless. They are highly effective for visualizing complex simulations and pacing your own learning. This diagram shows the digital distraction loop sabotaging those strengths. Constant notifications shatter your focus during reading and exam preparation. Additionally, relying entirely on infrastructure means a single network drop can completely derail a study session. Studying on a connected device means you inevitably multitask. This degrades problem-solving skills and impairs your recall later. Using a tool engineered for interruption to complete a task requiring deep focus leads to underperformance. The solution is not to reject digital tools entirely. We need to drop the either-or choice between analog and screens. This chart shows a strategic framework based on matching your cognitive goal to the correct medium, plotting concept complexity against required retention depth. This is the discovery zone. Use digital tools here for watching complex visual simulations and broadening your initial understanding of a topic. Down here is the foundation zone. This is where you switch to analog tools, pen and paper, for memorization, deep synthesis, and essay writing. Moving physically between a screen for your initial research and paper for your final synthesis prevents cognitive fatigue. The effective student selects the medium that biologically supports their immediate task. Technology wins on speed, access, and searchability, but human biology still requires analog friction to achieve depth. This is what a high-retention workflow looks like in practice. Research your complex topics on a screen, but synthesize those ideas on paper. Mastering this protocol provides a measurable edge in an environment where distraction is the default. Let your screens broaden your horizons. Let paper deepen your understanding. The final edge goes to the learner who actively chooses their tools, rather than defaulting to whatever is most convenient.